Now, throughout playing games, I have 100%ed a pretty decent amount, not a crazy amount, but pretty good amount. But I would like to show my personal opinion on how difficult they were and enjoyability. That's a good word. But this will also be covering not just games that I've 100%ed, but also games that I'm currently 100%ing. And that might not make sense, obviously, because, well, you have 100% the game, so you can't really rate it like that. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, because I have a couple. And I say a couple because I don't like to focus on only 100%ing one game at a time, because then I get so much more bored of that game to where it's just not enjoyable to play anymore. But on to the first game. So I'm going to start with the Outlast series. I've 100%ed the first one. I have 100%ed Outlast Trials. I am 2 achievements away from Outlast 2. And of course, those 2 achievements being Saint, which is finishing the game on Insane Mode, and Messiah, which is finishing the game on Insane Mode without reloading the camera battery. So, not easy. But in Outlast 1, you play as a guy named Miles Upshur, and basically he is he's a reporter. Pretty sure, yeah, he's a reporter. But basically, you stumble upon a asylum that you just really want to know what happened. You're really nosy, so you basically go in there and a bunch of shit goes down with all the patients there break loose and basically start killing everyone. I honestly thought this game was easy. 200%. This game was not hard at all. The hardest achievement in the game, Bowel Whistler, is finish the DLC in Insane Mode with a 2.8 completion rate. Right above that is Lunatic, which is finishing the main game in Insane Mode with a 2.9. When I played this game, I finished the game on Insane Mode on my first try, and I finished the game, or the DLC, on my first try as well. What I did was I played the game. Basically, I think the easiest way to 100% this game is do 1 or 2 playthroughs, obviously 1, but do another one if needed, and then that you can kind of get the gist and the layout of the map. And this game is so much easier than the second game, because that is the only thing I have, is I have to 100% the game on Insane Mode on the other game. Also, the second game is so much scarier than the first one, in my opinion. The first one has its scares, but the second one, they're so much faster. There's so many more jump scares. And I don't remember her name, but the main villain with the giant pickaxe is like so scary to go against. There's one part of the game where you have to push this wagon to get over a fence, and she's in the area with you, and oh my god, I like almost shit my pants like seeing her.
Oh my god.
I can't do it because the enemies in this game are so much slower. They are way slower, way easy to avoid, and they're just not like tanky. Or not tanky, Jesus Christ. But they they'll one-shot you. The main and like main boss, mini bosses or whatever they're called, such as like Chris Walker and all them, they'll one-shot you, and then basic patients, like with just the guys who roam around the map, they are a 2-hit. They are incredibly easy to avoid, and I had absolutely no problem 100%ing this. I thought the hardest achievement was collecting all the documents. That was the hardest one, because I'm not good when it comes to searching maps. Enjoyability, about a 7. I had fun with it, but it was just kind of, I just got really bored because I was expecting it to be more of a challenge, but it honestly was not that hard. And then difficulty rating like a 4 because it was just the documents and the recordings that was literally the hardest part, because you have to like be at the right spot at the map, you have to be there at the right time for the recordings. It's just, it honestly, that was the hardest achievement. Otherwise it just got boring, to be honest. It was fun first playthrough. Second playthrough was just kind of, you already know what's gonna happen. Outlast Trials, the hardest achievement on Steam is Sleight of Hand, which is acquire the Sleight of Hand badge. Sleight of Hand badge is unlocking 100 containers. It's honestly not hard. But this game was not hard, if most people could tell. It's all the achievements is getting badges. I think the hardest achievement for this game, honestly, was the can't touch this badge, which that is where you have to escape 10 trials or MK challenges without getting hit. I thought it was going to be very hard because I did it once and I was like, because you have to do that 10 times. I thought it was going to be way harder than I imagined, but I got so used to, I just repeated the same challenge over and over and was able to do it just fine. The other achievements that sucked was the co-op ones. I luckily got help from my cousin.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
But it was otherwise, it was easy. It wasn't anything crazy. Enjoyability, I would say like an 8, maybe a 9. And I say that just because the game is so much more fun when playing with friends. It is just fun with how chaotic the challenges can get.
Oh my god! Dude! Oh my god! Oh my god!
People, the NPCs, it's just honestly a really fun game with all the challenges you have to do. Difficulty rating, I'm gonna say a 3. Again, it wasn't really hard, it was just time consuming, really. So, and I can't really say much else about it. It's pretty general to 100% the game. It's not anything crazy, but on to the next game. Mortal Kombat 11. I'm not going to be talking about this game much for a few different reasons. I originally wanted to 100% Mortal Kombat X. I don't have Mortal Kombat 1 100%ed. It is impossible to 100% Mortal Kombat X because one of the achievements is getting faction wins, where at the start of the game, you get to choose a faction that you want to be a part of, and there would be global wars with like other factions, and yours could win. That achievement is not possible anymore because the factions shut down back in, I think, 2019. So that achievement is not even possible, and that was a waste of money for buying this game. Mortal Kombat 11 is possible otherwise. I got bored of the game in about 10 hours. It took me 33.5 hours to 100% this game. Now that might be super slow. I'm a very slow person when it comes to 100%ing these games. I try to just make sure I'm doing everything right. I can't rush depending what it is. This one I tried rushing as fast as possible and it sucked ass in my opinion. The hardest achievement on Steam is Total Disrespect. Is defeat an opponent as Bug Vora with a 1.5 completion rate. Not a hard achievement. It's just kind of, you have to get lucky. I did it. I am glad you could do it with an AI is what I did. It is where you play as D'Vorah and you have this certain skill preset on where when you die, you spawn in as a little bug that has like a slither of health and you have to kill someone with it. Otherwise, it wasn't too hard. The most annoying achievement was Master of Time with a 2.2% completion rate. Complete 250 towers with the lowest tower being 4, I believe. 2, 4. I got to 100, and me and my cousin, we were also both 100% in this game, because why not? Seeing who could do it faster. He finished the game before me, and I was at 100 towers. I didn't know how he rushed towers that fast, but he told me if you play the infinite tower, you are able to actually skip the tower. Like, if you play the infinite tower, and then if you push pause and quit you can end the tower through the pause menu, and that counts as a completed tower. So I had to do that 150 times. Then I got that achievement, and then it was all set from there. Difficulty rating 2. I'm getting these really low because it's just, so far these games haven't been hard. Enjoyability, like a 4. It was fun for the start, just to think about it. It's like, oh yeah, I got 100% this game. As soon as my only achievement was the towers, that was the most boring game I ever thought. It was just, you sit there and you just join a tower and end it, join, end, join, end, join, end. It was not fun. When I 100%ed it, got that achievement, I closed the game and uninstalled it as fast as I could. On to the next. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. This game I was so happy to get because I waited so long because I did not have a PS5 at the time to get it when it first came out. So I had to wait for about, I think it was 2 years until it actually came out on PC. Great game. Hardest achievement with a 9.5 completion rate is Once More with Feeling. Finish the main story in New Game Plus mode. The game was fun. It was really fun. I had no problem with playing it. I played the first Spider-Man game years ago, and I've always fell in love with playing with Spider-Man games since I was just young, and it's just, honestly, it's really fun. And I loved the movement that they had in this game because I played the other 2 Spider-Mans, and this one, the movement was just so much faster. It was just such a fast-paced game. It had different combat. It was just great. I really didn't have any problem with 100% in this game. There was no hard achievements. Playing it in New Game Plus I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be harder. It wasn't, but otherwise, no, it was an enjoyable game, and I had a whole lot of fun playing it, and I was so glad. I was like, I want 100% this game. I was just glad I got to actually play. I'm glad it came out on Steam. Difficulty rating, another low score. I'm gonna put it at I'd put it at like a 2, 1 probably. Not hard. Every achievement is very direct. It tells you what you specifically need to do, and you can figure that out on your own. There's no like, hey, you have to find all these on your own. Like, everything has a marker in that game, so you kind of know where you need to go. Enjoyability, though, like an 8, 9. I'd say an 8. The game does get a little bit boring because it's very repetitive. After you only have maybe 2 achievements left, it's just kind of the same thing. The game is fun overall, but playing the game in New Game Plus mode was a little bit boring. Not boring, but it was just not as fun as the first playthrough, obviously, because you already know what's going to happen. You know what the boss fights are like. You know what the combat is, what you need to do. So I kind of just speed through that. Otherwise, it didn't take me that long, 200%. But otherwise, no, it was fun. It was a great game. On to the next. My favorite game series out of all games. I was so happy that I finally completed all the 3 BioShock games for 100%. I always wanted to do it on my Xbox. Xbox is just, it was never for me to 100% those games, so I just played it as enjoyability. I did get the BioShock Infinite game, because that's my favorite one, a long time ago. I didn't 100% it until June 19th, 2025. So last year. BioShock 1 wasn't a hard game. I think the most annoying achievement is finding all the audio diaries, which is an achievement in all the games. Again, like I said, it's just I've not searched rooms. I'm not a person who like will literally scope down a whole room. I need to, but I don't. The game wasn't hard. The DLCs were a little hard. The hardest achievement with a 2.1 completion rate is Worlds of Hurt Tough Guy, which is rescue the little sister in the Worlds of Hurt DLC using only plasmids, tonics, the wrench, and the research camera on medium or higher difficulty. Right above that with 2.1% is Worlds of Hurt Expert. Rescue the little sister in the Worlds of Hurt DLC under 15 minutes on medium or higher difficulty. It wasn't hard, but I had to do a couple playthroughs to know what I was doing. Because I think it's the little sister stuck on a Ferris wheel, and I think you have to activate the Ferris wheel 6 times, I think. 6 or 7 times. And honestly, it's just kind of hard because you have to speed through that. And using only... I tried to do it, both of them in one playthrough, which was a terrible idea. But using only plasmids and tonics and the wrench is hard because you do have to fight, like, these splicers that are just super, super hard to kill. But basically, not a hard game. I had a lot of fun playing it, though. That was the last one I 100%ed because I went backwards for some reason. I did the third one, the second one, then the first one. Not a hard game, though. Difficulty rating, I would say maybe a 6, maybe a 5. It was in the middle just because the splicers are such heavy hitting. Otherwise, it's not a hard game. Enjoyability, I would say maybe an 8. It's not my favorite BioShock. It's my second favorite, I guess. They're kind of tied between the first and second one. It is a good game, though. Great game. I love the game, but it's just... It was weird going backwards from my favorite to, like, not favorite, you know? Otherwise, on to the next. BioShock 2. BioShock 2 was the quickest game to 100% out of the 3. It only took me 18 hours to complete. Was not hard at all, but it was very, very annoying. The game is fun because you get to play as now one of the giant big daddies, where in the first game, those are who you had to kill. The game's fun, but it was super annoying to 100%. One of the most annoying achievements, big brass balls, finish the game without using beta chambers or finish the game without dying. I did like 4 playthroughs and could not get this achievement. I don't know why it was not giving me the achievement, and I was getting so tired of it to where I would just speed run the game, and it would not work for me for some reason. But then I finally got it, and it made it so much easier. All the other achievements, easy. There's nothing hard about this game. With the lowest percentage achievement being Guardian Angel, complete all bonus protector trials with a 3.7 completion rate, which makes no sense because above it with a 3.8 is earn an A rank on all protector trials. Don't know why that one's harder, or not harder, because it should be, but the game was not hard besides that one achievement that wasn't going through. It was just annoying. But difficulty wise, not counting that one achievement, I would say 4. The game's easy. You can skip most of the enemies just speedrunning. That's why it only took me 18 hours, because I just kind of skipped through all the enemies just running. Not hard though. Enjoyability, I would say like an 8. I had fun playing the game. The game was fun. After that achievement wasn't working, it went to like a 2 because I was just getting so tired that it was not giving me that achievement. But I didn't give up, and it worked. On to the next. BioShock Infinite. This is still my favorite game I've ever played. I've played it so much growing up to where I just fell in love with the game. With the hardest achievement of a 1.5 completion rate, Blue Ribbon Champ. In the Clash in the Clouds DLC, complete all Blue Ribbon challenges. That achievement sucked ass trying to get. It took me so long to 100% or to get that achievement because there are 4 maps in that DLC. And basically you need to fight these waves of enemies. There's 15 waves. On each wave, there is one ribbon challenge where it would be like kill enemies on a skyline or get only headshot kills. And there are 15 of those waves. If you mess up on, let's say, wave 14, you don't get the challenge. The challenge fails. The only way to do that is you have to restart and go all the way back to wave 14 to get another shot at that challenge. That was the annoying part. Otherwise, nothing was crazy about this game for achievement wise. It was definitely the hardest out of the 3. One of the achievements that was kind of annoying was completing the game on 1999 mode. That one was also really hard because 1999 mode is the hardest difficulty in the game. And killing enemies wasn't hard. I just knocked them off the map or something like that. But otherwise, it was really hard to kill the Siren, Elizabeth's mom, one of the protagonists. She gets reincarnated into this ghost, and you have to fight her 3 times. And her health would just not go down. It was just taking forever to go down. Which, by the way, if you died on 1999 mode, the enemies that are alive next to you, their health resets. So I would die fighting her and then have to redo the whole thing. And it just was so annoying. Otherwise, it wasn't hard. Again, the voxophone, collecting the audio diaries, that was pretty hard just because there's 80, I believe. So finding 80 of those is not fun. But I love this game so much, so it just really made it so much more enjoyable to play. I was so sad when I 100%ed it because I just knew I wasn't going to play it again. I will play it maybe for enjoyability, but not as much as I used to. So enjoyability wise, 9, like a 9.5. I would put it at 10, but that Clash in Clouds was hard. And it felt so good to get that achievement, but holy shit, I was ready to be done with that DLC. But difficulty wise, I would put it at like a 9 because of that achievement and the 1990 mode achievement with that. It's crazy because those are only 2 achievements in an 80 achievement game. Those were hard. Those were really hard. And yeah, it was crazy. On to the next. Dishonored 2. I actually just 100%ed this not that long ago. This game is great, but it gets boring. It gets really repetitive. The game wasn't hard. I watched YouTubers try to 100% this game, and they said it was hard. Like, oh, you have to beat the game without getting spotted. You have to beat the game without killing anyone or anything. I played it. I had no problem with it. I didn't think this game was hard at all. The achievement that was the hardest for me was the well-funded achievement, which is finding 60% of available loot. Like I said earlier, I'm not good when it comes to searching, like doing a whole search on maps, to where I literally, it took me like 3 playthroughs to get that achievement. It took me so long to get that achievement. It was pissing me off. It was so annoying. But the hardest achievement, freedom of speech, with a, oh, never mind. apparently all of these say 0%. That is weird. Okay, never mind. But no, the game wasn't hard at all. I had fun. I loved playing Dishonored when it first came out on PlayStation. When I didn't have a computer, but it was a fun game. It was just having to replay it it got so boring. It took me so long. I started playing this game in about July last year, and then I went to college, and I didn't complete it until a couple weeks ago. So that's where that goes. Difficulty rating, like a 5. A 6 because of that achievement, though, just because I couldn't get it. Otherwise, it wasn't... I'd never had any problems with it. I didn't think it was difficult. One of the achievements where you have to sneak across the whole map without getting spotted once. And there's also one where you have to be a pacifist, so you have to only knock out people or not kill them. Those tend to be the hardest, but I did both those achievements in one playthrough. You also have to beat the game without powers, but that's pretty easy because you are like super overpowered in that game. But no, as long as you do a bunch of saves, that's all I did. I would make progress through one part of the mission. I would make a save point, and then I just keep on going unless I auto-saved or I'd manually save. Wasn't a hard game though. Enjoyability though, I'd give it like a 7, just because I thought the game of, you know, being an assassin, being like silent or loud depending on your approach, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a great game. I had a lot of fun. For my 100%, that's basically it. I've 100%ed a bunch of small horror games. I'm not counting those because those achievements are like 5. It's like 5 achievements. Games that I am currently working on 100%ing, I need only 12 achievements in Resident Evil 7. I'm very close to getting that game done. After Resident Evil 7, I am going to try to 100% probably Resident Evil Village. I have yet to play this game. I just tried avoiding spoilers. I really want to play this game. I just never had time to and really put much thought into it, but I'm planning on doing that and getting there. A game that I am debating about 100%ing, I want to, but it's going to be terrifying, is Slender: The Arrival. I only have 2 achievements in the game. I have beat the game, but I don't know yet if I want 100% just because that game is scary. If you're watching this, let me know. Let me know if you want to see that. That would be an interesting thing. I am eventually going to 100% the Miles Morales Spider-Man. I literally just have to basically beat the game on New Game Plus. I just don't like the game because it's so... After playing the second Spider-Man, it's such a slow-paced game compared to the second one. Fun game, though. It's great. But the combat, it feels so much slower, and the movement, the swinging is a lot slower, too. Dying Light 2 Stay Human's another one I was thinking of. I was going to 100% it. I never did. Don't know yet. That's debatable. Sparking Zero Dragon Ball might be one. These are a bunch of games I'm just listing. These are games that I don't know, though. The games I'm for sure going to 100%, though. Dead Rising, the remastered one. I just beat the game the other night. I am going to for sure 100% this game. Another one I'm for sure going to 100% is Borderlands 2. Me and my cousin are both trying to 100% this game together. It shouldn't be hard. The game isn't bad. It's fun. I mean, there's not really much for me to say about it. And another one is Fallout 4. That is it for this video. I hope you liked it. But otherwise, no. I'm definitely going to 100% more games and then maybe do a rating on them depending on what it is. I'm still debating if I'm going to 100% Slender Arrival, though. Like I said, let me know about that. I think that game is great. It's great but terrifying. But otherwise, that's it. Alright, bye!